Hey guys, welcome back. So last week we talked about the new fragrance that is launching, which is Gabrielle Chanel fragrance, and I had plenty to say about that fragrance. But so there's a lot more newness coming for Chanel Cosmetics, and the first of which being the fragrance. But as most of you guys do know, there is a fall collection that will be launching soon. It's actually already launched. I just haven't had my hands on it. I know it is available on Chanel.com and in Chanel boutiques. It should already be there. But I work at Nordstrom and we don't have it just yet. There's only been whispers of it, but it should be coming any day now. However, the thing that has come to our counter and I am very excited about, it is our new brushes. So if you guys know anything about me, or if you guys have watched any of my videos, my earlier videos, you guys will know that I love brushes. Like, brushes are my favorite thing in the cosmetic world, like more than highlighter, more than bronzer, more than powder, more than foundation, more than eyeshadow. I love brushes because without brushes, makeup is nothing. Like, you can't do shit without brushes, because brushes can make the cheapest makeup look expensive. It's all an application. So you guys know I love brushes. And I did make a Chanel must-have brush video previously. I uploaded that a couple months ago, I believe, and I got a lot of good feedback from you guys about it. So today I decided that I would want to talk about the new Chanel brushes. So as you guys can see, there's a lot of obvious differences about these brushes, but I want to go ahead and go in depth and really talk to you guys about them. I do have most of them here with me. There's only a couple that I don't have, and it's like the double-ended eyeshadow brushes. I don't have those because I'm not really a fan of those, so I didn't get them. I don't like double-ended anything really, because I stand my brushes up in cups. So if I have a double-ended brush, like, I can't, and I don't know, it's not good for my lifestyle. So I don't have those. The only other brush that I'm missing besides that is the Kabuki brush, because I don't like Kabuki brushes all that much, so I didn't get it. And the double-ended concealer brush. I don't know if I'm gonna get it once it comes in. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a fan of double-ended brushes, but it seems like a very promising brush. So I might just get it just to have it, and because I heard it's really good, and I saw a demo of it and it looks really good, so I'll let you guys know. But I do have most of the brushes here. I have the bread and butter of brushes essentially, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I do have most of the old brushes. Well, I have all the old brushes here just for reference, so I can show you guys the difference. So the old brushes are going to be discontinued pretty soon. So once they sell through them, or they might, you know, call for us to send them back. I'm not sure what the course of action is going to be, but once, you know, we don't have them anymore, we're not going to have them anymore. So this entire new brush line is going to replace that old brush line. So I want to start off with like the most obvious difference, which is the packaging. So this new packaging from Chanel is literally all black, as opposed to the old packaging where it is black and silver. So the ferrule is black and the handle is black as well. The finish, there are some obvious differences. This one has a much shinier finish all the way through, and this one has a matte black finish, kind of like the MAC brushes or most of the brushes on the market. This one's matte. However, they didn't really go into detail about what this is made of. I'm not sure if it's metal, I'm not sure if it's wood. This one I know for sure is a wood handle. This one might not be, I'm not sure. The main positive aspect about this finish is that the lettering is not going to rub off. As you can see, the lettering has definitely rubbed off on this guy. This one won't be rubbing off as easily. The ferrule is different and the bristles are different. We had talked about this. They didn't want to go into detail too much, but and they suggested I don't go into detail too much when I'm talking about the brushes with my customers, just because I know animals, it's kind of a very touchy subject. But you guys know how I feel about bristles, and I am a fan of natural hair because I love the way it picks up and deposits product. Most of these are synthetic, to my dismay. So, but you know, I want to give it a couple more tries. I did use all the brushes today to apply my makeup, and I'm actually quite pleased with the product. But as you know, like, you gotta break in your brushes a couple times so that they can perform at its best. Right now, I mean, I've only used them like once, and I've only cleaned them once. So The brushes aren't at their full potential yet, but they applied my makeup on pretty well, I feel, and I loved how they felt on my skin. So good signs so far. The first brush I want to talk about is this one. It is the Fluid Powder Foundation brush. I've mentioned before, this is like a 2-in-1, and I'm glad they didn't completely get rid of this brush because I've mentioned it before. I love this brush. It's my favorite brush from Chanel. You know, you can use this to apply foundation and powder. So from what I'm seeing, the bristles are still pretty much the same. They feel the same. The only difference is that this one is a lot more densely packed and this one is a lot more pliable. Like this one doesn't have a lot of movement to it, but this one does. So I'm not sure if this is going to affect the performance of the brush or not. I didn't use this to apply my foundation today. I used a beauty blender, but I'll let you guys know. But so far, I'm not seeing too much of a difference. There's still an angle to it. It's just this one looks like it has more of a, it just looks like it has a steeper angle, if that makes any sense. A steeper angle might be a good thing because it might hug your face a little better, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So that's one brush. Okay, the next brush I want to talk about is the foundation brush. So this is the Paddle foundation brush. Differences so far. This one just looks a lot thinner. It's a lot more pliable. This one is a little thicker. Doesn't have as much give to it. This one actually feels a lot softer though. To be honest, this new one does feel a lot softer, but it looks like it has a lot more, it has a lot of give to it, which, I mean, I didn't apply this, I didn't use this today either to apply foundation. I've just been on a beauty blender kick where I will only apply foundation with beauty blender. Oh, actually, I know why I didn't use any brushes today, because I'm only wearing concealer. I'm not wearing foundation today. I've been on a foundation strike for months now. Like, I haven't worn foundation in months. But yeah, so that's why I haven't used any of the foundation brushes. But this one, it looks, just from the side, it looks a little thinner. It has more give to it. It's more pliable. They just feel different. I wonder if the application is going to be, I feel like this one isn't going to be as streaky as this one, because this one I could see why it would be streaky, and this one kind of gives you, it allows you to have more of a buffing motion. So yeah, not too many differences here. Next is the retractable foundation brush. So it's this one. It has a very interesting shape. It reminds me of something that Sigma might have, their dimension brushes. It looks like that, and you know, you just pull it up and there you have a retractable brush. Has the CCs on there. I've used it a couple times. I actually use this with a cushion, and I like how it applies. The only thing about this is that I feel like I'm very particular about cleaning my brushes, and I feel like this wouldn't be the best brush to clean, just because I feel like it would be kind of hard, and I feel like water seeps into the ferrule very easily with this one. But I'm gonna give it a couple more tries because I mean, I liked how it applied, and this would be really good for traveling. So I think that was the thought behind it. It's great for traveling because everybody wants something travel friendly nowadays. So we have the retractable foundation brush. So next is the foundation blending brush, which this one I feel has the biggest difference. So it's still duo fibered. It's just like this one, natural hair on the bottom and synthetic on top. However, they dyed the top black. So and I don't know if I like the look of that. It kind of bothers me. Like, I like this whole skunk look. But the argument with that, one of the arguments anyway, is that no matter how much you use it and how much you clean it, you're always gonna have a stained brush. But honestly, look at how white this puppy is. And I've had this for a while, and mine isn't stained, so it's not an impossible task. But they dyed it anyway, so this is what you have now. And actually, I have a lot of people, mainly my friend Marissa at Tom Ford. She was just like, oh, it's black, I love it, give me two. Like, they love this aspect. And the thing about this one, I admit, this one used to shed like a bitch. Like, this one shed more than my dog. This shed so much. Like, this shed so freaking much, and I never like to use it on customers. I use it on myself, but no, this brush shed. It shed so much. This one does not shed. This one doesn't shed at all. I used it to apply my blush today or I used it to apply the base of my bronzer today, and I really liked it. I like how it dispersed the product. It's really nice. So, and it feels a lot, it doesn't feel that different from the old one actually. Though I admit, I feel like, you know what, I feel like the natural hair on this new one, it's softer than the old one. Like this one definitely feels coarser. The synthetic bristles on top feel softer too. Okay, next brush up is the powder brush. So this is what the old powder brush used to look like. And I think I mentioned this in my previous video about must-have Chanel brushes, and this was one of them. So this took its place. And so there are some obvious differences. This one's a lot more rounder, it's a lot more dense, like it's really dense. This one more tapered, it tapers up at the top, very pliable, not very dense. I did use this to apply my powder today. I liked how it picked up the product and I like how it applied. But like I said, I need to break it in a little more. But I mean, I loved this. I freaking love the shape so much. Like I'm definitely gonna miss this. But so far, I like it. I'm gonna have to give it a couple more tries, but I mean, it feels quite nice. I like the taper because it allows me to sweep up any debris that's under my eye a lot more easily. I feel like this shape is a lot better just because it knocks product off a lot more easily. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to really using this powder brush. And then we got another powder brush. So this one is the baby version of this guy. So both of them very similar shape, comes to a taper, it's just this one's tinier. This one would be good for precise powder application, so applying powder under the eye, around the nose, around the mouth. Or what I like to do is I'll just kind of like to carve out my bronzer with this. This would be good for that. It kind of pretty much just comes out to the perfect point. Or you can use this as blush. This is actually what I used as a blush brush today. So I began to apply my blush with this, and I actually really like how it came out. So far, all the brushes that I use on my face, admittedly, they feel very soft on my cheek. Like they don't feel scratchy, they don't feel rough or anything. And so far, all the brushes that I've mentioned are synthetic. These are all synthetic hair. The previous powder brush, these guys are indeed natural hair. They pick up an incredible amount of product, and I told you they deposit onto your face in an insane way. And that's what I was really looking for when these brushes came out, because I really wanted them to not shed as much as the other ones, and I wanted them to deposit product in an amazing way on my cheek. Like it has to be unlike any other brush that I've used. So despite it being synthetic, it's actually worked pretty well. So, and I like synthetic brushes just because, you know, the hairs on synthetic brushes have like a shingle pattern on them, kind of like tiles on a rooftop, so they grab onto product in a very effective way. Synthetic hair, it's smooth hair, so that's why product can slip right off. So that's why I'm not a fan of synthetic bristles for powder products. Synthetic bristles for cream, I agree all the way, but for powders, I prefer natural hair. But so far, I mean, it deposited color onto my face very nicely. So, I mean, and they're super soft too, so that's a positive so far. But I think in my next video, I'm gonna use the old brushes versus the new brushes and do half my face with each, and just for comparison, and then we'll see where that goes. If you guys like that video idea, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up and comment down below if you like that. But yeah, so this is the baby powder brush, and yeah, this is a very versatile brush. I'm looking forward to using this brush. Okay, so next is the contour brush. They call this a contoured brush. It's the angled brush, and I'm excited because this one would be really good for contouring. I, however, would actually end up using this as a blush brush just because this is what I tend to use angled brush for my cheeks, not for contour. But this one I believe is actually natural hair, so I actually can feel that it's natural hair. The bristles don't look as smooth as the synthetic ones, and they feel a little different too. It's still just as soft though, so that's good. I didn't get to use this one today, but this is what it looks like, and it feels really good so far. Okay, another thing that like kind of bothers me about these brushes is that they're not numbered. They're just called blush brush, powder brush, blending brush. So there's no numbers on them. A customer will tell me I want the powder brush and I'll be like, which one? Because we got two. So that kind of bugs me, but you know, it's fine. So next is the blush brush. So they call this a blush brush, which I would actually use this for contour. Morphe makes a very similar one. It's called the M523. I believe it is Jaclyn. It's one of Jaclyn's favorite brushes actually. So this one's like just the bigger version of the Morphe one. This one is the Chanel one. This one's a Morphe one. So this one's just bigger, but if you turn them both on their side, you know, very similar shape. Very, very, very similar shape. This one's just a little more dense. This one has a little more give to it. This one's a little fluffy. So I would actually end up using this as bronzer. I actually did use this today as a bronzing brush, and I definitely like how it applied my bronzer. It wasn't choppy or anything. I really loved it. I believe this one is natural hair as well. It does feel more like a natural hair. There's a little more texture to it as opposed to the synthetic hairs. So this one is natural hair. I do like natural hair for my contour just because I feel I like the way it applies a little better. But I would definitely use this as a bronzing just because it reminds me of the NARS Eater brush. If you guys are familiar with that brush, it's the perfect contour brush. So it's pretty much the fluffier version of the NARS Eater brush, and I love it. So I feel like this one would be better for bronzing. I feel like it's a little too stiff for blush application. I'll try for blush application, I'll let you guys know, but like this, as soon as I saw it, I was just like, oh, that's a contour brush. And I read the back, I was like, blush brush? I guess. But yeah, I'll let you guys know.